Hello and welcome to Roosevelt Rebel. I'm your host, Tisa Rebel Beltran. Today I want to discuss a little bit about what's going on in the world with the um, protest for Black Lives. Um, so here in Phoenix, there have been one. Well, for one, we went to Albuquerque this weekend, so we weren't home, so I don't know what's been going on, and I've been trying to stay off of Facebook and stuff because we were spending time with the kids. But sorry, I can't breathe. And my allergies are really acting up since we've been back. It's a really windy day today in Phoenix, Arizona. So I know that there was protests going on for I think it was 4 or 5 consecutive days here in Phoenix, Arizona. And I have a friend that lives down there, and she sent me videos of the protesters walking down the street because she lives right there by the city, by City Hall. And she showed me video of the protesters walking. Then all of a sudden, like 5-10 minutes later, she sent me more video of the scene, and she's like, see that smoke over there? That is tear gas. So I know it did get violent on some nights. Well, I guess I would say violent because it was the police using force against the protesters to go home, because we do have a curfew here until 8 o'clock. I don't know if that was changed or not. I haven't really been paying attention to anything today because I'm not feeling well with my allergies and my eyes hurt and all that fun stuff. You could probably hear it in my voice. It's hard to talk, but I'm going to get through this. So while we were in Albuquerque, New Mexico this weekend, we saw the Black Lives protest going down. We were at a hotel next to the freeway, and it was pretty cool that the way that they had it was the cops blocked off area for them to walk, to parade down the street and protest, and there was cars in front and cars in the back, and then plus police escorting them in their right to protest. And it was a beautiful, beautiful scene. We were actually going to join up with them, but we didn't end up doing it. But I did record some of it, and I posted it on my Facebook, and I think I should post it to my Instagram or my TikTok, because we do have a TikTok now, and it's at Rebel Mayhem. And it's on my personal page, Tisa Beltran, on Facebook. But I think it was pretty cool that they had police escorts, and then also their own safety of protesters and cars in the front and protesters in the back. And that was an awesome thing to see, and it was beautiful. So that's a big difference from here and Albuquerque, New Mexico. But another thing that made a big difference was, I don't know if it was just because the pandemic is going on, and it just felt very easy going there. And the differences between downtown Phoenix and downtown Albuquerque was that there was mom and pop shops everywhere. Instead of a Starbucks on every corner, there was a mom and pop coffee shop on every corner. And Nob Hill was beautiful. I loved it. It was awesome. And it was just amazing that there was just so many small businesses, and I love that. And I feel that Phoenix is missing that. They're missing that opportunity because Phoenix is such a freaking red state and all about the money that there are hardly any small businesses in the downtown area, and if there is, they are pretty pricey, or they're even going out of business because of the pandemic. Just something. I just feel like Phoenix is not a place for small business, and it's sad for me to say that because I grew up in downtown Phoenix when small business was it, and that was like inspired me to want to be a small business owner, and Phoenix is not good for it. I don't feel that everything is so corporate. Everything is a Chipotle or Starbucks or McDonald's or some big thing. And, you know, I miss the small business, and being in Albuquerque this weekend, I really loved it. And even the kids loved it. We loved going to the different locations there. We went to a waffle place called, I think it was Tia B's Waffleria. Oh my god, the best waffles ever. They had waffles made from blue corn. They had waffles made from yellow corn. They had red chili. They had green chili. They had biscuits and gravy waffle that the waffle was made out of the biscuit batter, and just like so fucking good, you guys. Um, and then we went and ate at a place called, I think it was called the stove, the I don't remember it, but the the picture is a stove, and I would look it up right now, but I left my phone in the other room. Um, the range, I think, yeah, the range. There was a few locations there, and it was home cooked meals, delicious. It was kind of like when you would walk into like a Coco's or a Black Bear Diner. It was a diner feel, and like there's a little bakery in the front where they had like pies and like creme brulee, and like, oh, delicious, like so good, home cooked chocolate cake. It was, they gave you such a big ass slice for $6.99. Like, we still have it. We went, I think it was Saturday or Sunday we went. No, it was Saturday night we went, and it was such a big piece. Like, I took a couple bites, and May took a couple bites, and then we just put the rest, and we brought it home because it's just so big. We had to buy an ice chest because there was so much food left over, that we brought it home. And but the food out there is amazing. Mom and pop shops everywhere, totally different from the food here in Phoenix. Like Phoenix, like the when you want to get authentic Mexican food, it's, you can go to like Garcia's, the original, which is on 35th Avenue and Encano in Phoenix. Like, that is like authentic original Mexican food to me. And I know that they sold the name to the Garcia's restaurants that are all around town, and I think they're even through others. Like, I think they even had one in New Mexico. I think what I saw this weekend when I was looking for somewhere to go eat. But delicious. Like, the food out there, I feel is a much better than the food out here in Phoenix. And I grew up here, and that says something. Now, my love for Arizona is huge. I am in love with Arizona. I love the beauty of Arizona. The heat, I love it to a certain extent. But being in Albuquerque this weekend, like I said, I don't know if it was because it's the pandemic and it was so easygoing. It felt very easygoing, and I loved it. And the mom and pop shops everywhere. And I feel like you could really start up your own business there, and it could thrive because that's what everybody's looking for. And we went to their First Friday. In comparison to First Friday in downtown Phoenix here, it wasn't too crazy because we were on a street that a lot of the businesses were boarded up because of the rioting. Because one night they did get crazy, just one night it got out of hand out there. But we weren't there for that. So a lot of the businesses were either boarded up, and I don't know, because of the pandemic, or it could have been either or. So either the business was boarded up because of the pandemic or boarded up because of the rioting. But the street that we were on was for the First Friday Art Walk, and it was fun. And even though there wasn't that many people out there at the time that we were out there, it was still a good time. And I video chatted my friend that used to live there, and surprisingly, we were on the street that she lived on, and she was like, "Those right behind you, that's where I live. That's my apartment. That's where I used to live." And I was like, "That's an apartment complex? Like, you wouldn't even know that these buildings are apartment complexes because of the way that the everything is set up out there." And I was like, "Wow." And I asked her, how much it cost and all that stuff. But the food, amazing. The mom and pops, like, the amazing. We even went and drove by Walt from Breaking Bad's house, and we took a little video and took a couple pictures of it. I just really enjoyed it. The authentic Navajo taco. We stopped out on a location on our way back at the Indian Cultural Center. There's a picture on my personal Instagram, which I'm going to post some of these pictures on the Rebel Mayhem page. So check that out at on Instagram. That's at rebel_mayhem, and I'll put more pictures up. But I gotta say, my time out there was amazing in the way that Albuquerque handled the protesters compared to, excuse me, Arizona, Phoenix. Just was a big difference, and sad because Phoenix is such a big city, and you would think that they would be prepared and like do what Albuquerque did, like have the police escorting the parade, the protest route, and all that. But no. So if there were, like, we did even discuss possibly moving to New Mexico, to Albuquerque or surrounding north. I just spoke to a friend that lives in New Mexico. She said that just north of New Mexico, the houses are, or excuse me, north of Albuquerque, the houses are a little cheaper than inside Albuquerque. So I'm really interested in checking those prices out, and maybe possibly moving out there, because I'll tell you now, my allergies were not like this, and the kids, except Elias, is not on board. But my allergies it was windy out there, and I was not feeling the way that I am now. There's something in the air here, and I've never lived out of Arizona my whole 41 years of life, and that would be a big step for me, because my family is here, and like, we are really close, and I love them so much. But we'll just see what happens. But I told you on the last podcast that we have something coming. Mamie and I, Amanda, my fiance, we've been talking a lot in the past year about starting a church. And we don't want it to be based on anything, meaning no, like, not Catholic, not Christian, not Pentecostal, or anything like that. We just want to have a spiritual podcast, church, but we decided to do a podcast. So we will be doing a podcast. I believe we're going to be doing it tonight. It'll be up. And we decided on a name. It's called Preach, because it's going to be more on the spiritually based. I grew up Catholic, so I do have some Catholic teaching still inside of me, and excuse me, my allergies are really acting up. I still have some Catholic, teachings instilled in me, and practices, and I went to Catholic school for 8 years. My dad is a deacon for the Catholic Church. My uncle was a priest, and I actually thought about becoming a nun as a child, because I really had faith, and I used to listen to Christian music really hard, and I was very into my faith. And I think a lot of it was because I knew that I was queer, and I thought that, religion could help me. But honestly, I did love God, and I did love the Lord hardcore. And excuse me, but these days I'm more spiritual. I'm more spiritual. I was Wiccan for a while, in my early teens onward, until for a long while. Honestly, I can't even tell you when I quit. I still do rituals, I guess pagan rituals, and I guess I'm just more spiritual than Catholic, but I still understand the teachings, and the teachings were great, because I went to Catholic school for 8 years. Those teachings and the way to be to other humans, how to treat other humans, and all that were instilled in me. And going to the 8 years that I was at Catholic school were the best schooling that I've ever had, honestly. Everything that I did in high school, I honestly feel like I didn't really learn much in high school and college. Anything that I learned, the proper ways on my education, were through Catholic school, and that was only for 8 years. So the rest of my schooling for rest of those 8 years, pretty much were just getting through to get that degree, I guess. I was an A student, because I feel like I wasn't very challenged going to community college, because I felt the people in the class, like, kind of held me back. I was used to going to Catholic school,